see what's happening in the health world. Adults who observe 5 key lifestyle patterns are much less likely to develop heart failure. Heart failure is a condition where the heart cannot respond to increased physical demands. It is one of the most common reasons seniors are admitted to a hospital. Researchers from Tufts University followed nearly 4,500 adults 65 years and older for up to 21 years. During the study, 1,380 cases of heart failure occurred. They found practicing at least 4 of 5 key lifestyle patterns reduced heart failure risk by 50%. The lifestyle traits are walking briskly, engaging in moderate physical activity during leisure time, not smoking, drinking alcohol only modestly, and keeping weight down to avoid obesity. The study was published by the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Well, folks, here's another example that shows you do have the power to help avoid disease, and if disease strikes, you also have the power to modify its course and reduce its pain. Practicing basic healthy lifestyle traits greatly reduces your risk of developing heart failure. Heart failure is not the same as having a heart attack. It is not when the heart stops beating either. Heart failure is when the heart can no longer respond to increased demands placed upon it. Now, for example, when we are sitting in a chair or lying in bed, our hearts only need to beat slowly and without much force. But if we were to get up from that chair and walk at a brisk pace, the heart will start to increase its rate of beating and the pumping force of each beat. When the heart cannot respond to increased demands like this, we call it heart failure, and it is among the most common reasons seniors are admitted to the hospital, and it is the most expensive disease that strikes seniors. The lifestyle traits that reduce heart failure risk are being able to walk at a brisk pace of at least 2 miles per hour, and doing so regularly, of course, including modest physical activity during leisure time, not smoking, drinking only occasionally, and keeping your weight down to or near your ideal weight. Researchers from McMaster University intestinal bacteria play a pivotal role in developing the symptoms of stress and anxiety. The researchers exposed baby mice to repetitive stress by separating them from their mothers for 3 hours daily over the course of almost 3 weeks. The baby mice showed stress behaviors as expected. They also developed elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol and altered intestinal function induced by elevated levels of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. Now, all of this was expected. They repeated this study, but this time the baby mice had a scale. Anxiety behaviors. Well, folks, I apologize for the technical and complex nature of this report, but it's time to provide tremendous healing power for those battling disease accompanied by Georgia followed 565
What'd you keep all of your butt for? You're free.
the surgical.
That's your butt?
Yeah. That's what I call it.
50,000 units of vitamin D weekly, and the other half received 50,000.
I don't have to.
As an outcome, well, they were dramatic.
All of mine.
Those who received 50,000 units weekly spent 36 days on average in ICU, while those who received 50,000 units daily spent only 8. The 50,000 weekly group experienced 22 heart attacks, while the 50,000 daily group experienced only 11 heart attacks, a 50% reduction. But perhaps the most dramatic effect of high-dose vitamin D was its cost savings. Those lower-dose vitamin D They spent $139,000 while those on high dose spent only $32,000 on average. Wow. Isn't that amazing? This is truly an amazing landmark and breakthrough study. When high-dose vitamin D, 50,000 international units are given daily versus 50,000 weekly, which is considered by many a high dose. 50,000 units a day. It reduces dramatically the rate of heart attacks, time spent in an ICU, and total money spent on ICU care. Heart attack rates are reduced by 50%. Time spent in ICU reduced from 36 days to just 8. And the money spent on care was reduced from a whopping $139,000 to a much more affordable $32,000. Well, of course, this study will need to be repeated probably several times before it becomes standard of care. And I truly hope these follow-up studies are honest and sincere. But this study already sends a loud and clear message that when we are under the extreme stress of major traumatic illness or surgical intervention, our bodies need extremely high levels of vitamin D to assist in our healing. This is a fascinating subject, and we will keep you informed as the information comes in. I promise you that. Well, today on Your Health, we will discuss the essential role that CoQ10 and the other components of the Heart Smart plays in good health. Stay tuned. We'll learn together.
May Savings Time is here again with our annual Cancer-Free Celebration.
Cindy and I would like to thank you for your continued support of our efforts here at Your Health Television and at BioInnovation.
We understand you must be very careful with your budget, so we're offering you the best prices of the year on many of your favorite supplements for the entire month of May. And shipping is free on all orders over $50 in the continental U.S.
Perhaps you've heard about many of these supplements and wondered if they'd help you. Now's a great time to give them a try.
Dr. Becker's Bionutrients and Noni Natural Skincare are up to 50% off. Aloha Noni and Acai are still half price by the case. And many other products you've grown to trust are up to 30% off.
May is a great time to stock up on your favorites.
Order online at bioinnovations.net or call 888-442-2128 and let us assist you in making the right choices for better health. Ask about the AutoShip program for additional savings.
I'm Dr. Richard Becker for Your Health at a Glance. High cholesterol raises your risk for cardiovascular disease, but it's just one risk factor among many. And the need to lower your cholesterol can be over-exaggerated. Everywhere in the media we see advertisements for cholesterol-lowering prescription drugs. It's a big business. Now, cardiovascular disease kills more Americans than any other disease, so we need to pay attention to all the risk factors for heart disease. Here's a prevention strategy. Besides lowering your cholesterol, treat high blood pressure. Stop all tobacco, manage diabetes, exercise regularly to stay fit, avoid sugar, eat fish and fresh fruits and vegetables. Take your daily vitamin and use omega-3 oils. Address all your risk factors. For Your Health at a Glance, I'm Dr. Richard Becker. CoQ10 and L-carnitine are among the most important nutrients our bodies use for energy production. Deficiency in these key nutrients can cause serious complications to your health. In fact, statin drugs that are used to lower cholesterol may deplete your CoQ10 levels.
BioInnovations brings you Dr. Becker's Bionutrients CoQ10 with L-carnitine. Now, providing support for cardiovascular health is easier than ever before.
CoQ10 and L-carnitine support a healthy heart naturally, as nature intended. And our formulation provides 300% greater absorption of CoQ10 than similar products, using a technology so effective it's patented.
BioInnovations is the affordable source that you can trust for all your vitamin and supplement needs. Give us a call at 888-442-2128. That's 888-442-2128. Or order online at bioinnovations.net. Welcome back, everyone. It's great to be with you today. We have a great show planned for you today. We're going to be talking all about the heart. Isn't that a great topic? We'll be talking about CoQ10 and L-carnitine and how this amazing combination of nutrients really helps support a healthy heart as well as many other things in our body. And then we're going to go into the Heart Smart plan. So we are going to have a healthy heart after today. So Richard, where do you want to start on this fantastic subject?
Well, let's start with the reason why we're suffering from symptoms of cardiovascular disease. You know, shortness of breath, that type of thing, chest pain, angina or chest pain when you exert yourself, fluid retention, edema, muscle pain with ambulation. By the time you get to the mailbox, your calves and your thighs are aching. You have to take a rest just to get back to the house. The fatigue and the poor sleep, all of these are the symptoms of cardiovascular disease and more. And they occur because your body is not supplying enough energy to the cardiovascular system. The heart doesn't get enough ATP to do what it has to do. It becomes ischemic, lack of oxygen, and this leads to the pain you're suffering from. Now, medications approved and used for cardiovascular disease do nothing to improve the ATP production. The dietary supplements, the CoQ10, the L-carnitine, D-ribose, magnesium, what we're going to talk about today, they do. They help provide energy to an energy-starved cardiovascular system, relieving many of the symptoms that you're experiencing with your cardiovascular disease. Now, I'm not saying for you to stop your medicines. They play an important role. We've got to keep the blood pressure down. We've got to keep the fluids off, all those things. But I think you're going to find if you embrace this Heart Smart plan, you're going to have fewer symptoms and you'll need fewer medications to control your condition. So keep an open mind. Let's look at the evidence, then we decide what we do. All right, let's start with coenzyme Q10, ubiquinone. I'm starting with this one because most of you have heard of this. Well, what is it? Another word for it is ubiquinone, and it comes from the word ubiquitous because it's found in virtually every living thing ever analyzed. All God's creatures have ubiquinone in it. It's a very unique molecule. It was first isolated over 50 years ago at the University of Wisconsin. Frederick Crane did this unbelievable work, and he won a Nobel Prize for it. It was that important. It plays a critical role in the conversion of glucose to ATP and cellular energy via the electron transport chain in the aerobic respiration in the mitochondria. All of this is in the mitochondria. Each cell can have thousands of mitochondria, especially in the heart where it's constantly working. And these mitochondria take glucose and fatty acids, lipids in our diet, and it converts it to cellular energy so the heart can do what it needs to do. And CoQ10 is part of that. It also acts as a vital antioxidant. It prevents the oxidation of LDL cholesterol so you don't get the plaque so bad in your arteries. And CoQ10 is primarily made by biosynthesis. We make our own. You can get some from foods, but it's not enough to sustain life. We have to be able to make it. And its source is primarily made by biosynthesis. It is a complex 12-gene, 17-step pathway requiring at least 7 vitamins and several trace elements. By its very nature, CoQ10 production is susceptible. Low production is common, and accepted normals are suboptimal. Did you get that? We are susceptible to low CoQ10 levels because to make it for ourselves is exceedingly complex. It requires multiple nutrients, and medicines frequently affect it. Disease affects its production, so by its very nature, we're susceptible to low CoQ10 levels. When CoQ10 levels are low, the symptoms of heart disease emerge. Chest pain, shortness of breath, dyspnea, I can't get my breath, air hunger, dyspnea with exertion, fluid accumulation, body aches, fatigue, depression even comes on. High energy organs have the most CoQ10, the brain, the heart, muscles, things that require the most energy to do what they do need the most CoQ10 so you have the energy to do it. Here's one of our major problems that we're